in LeBron's locker room because LeBron likes him because he's fun to have around.
Right.
He's always upbeat, in a good mood. He's always got a smile on his face, and he's got something funny to say, you know, lively to say.
I think LeBron said every championship team needs a guy like Jared Dudley in the locker room.
He has become, to me, the Lakers' mascot. That's what it is. And I know that's very derisive and dismissive, but that's the role that he plays because I
was thinking Udonis Haslem of Miami Heat.
All right, okay, but he wrote a 42-page book after he played 31 total minutes in 21 playoff games. Well, he barely got in just like the mop-up. He was like mopping up for the mop-up, right? You know, he comes after the janitor, right?
I thought you was going to tread lightly.
Okay,
That ain't treading
lightly. So my response last night was, I thought of the response that Ben Simmons had to Jared Dudley a couple of years ago when Jared, you know, he criticized. I'm not saying he called him out, but remember after Game 1, they stole Game 1 against the Sixers in the playoffs when he was then on the Nets, obviously. And his quote was about Ben Simmons that he's a great player in transition, but once you slow him up in the half court, I think he's average.
Did he lie? Did he lie, Skip?
Well, Ben Simmons didn't take it very well because he came out and laid a triple-double on him in Game 2, and then in Game 3 he went for 31 without Embiid playing. Remember that? And that was the first game back in Brooklyn.
Right.
Okay? So do you remember the classic response from Ben Simmons, which I'm about to echo, after when he was asked about what Jared Dudley said to him? Can you see it, please?
Jared Dudley comments about you yesterday. He says you're a great player in the open court, average in the half court. What do you think of that?
It's coming from Jared Dudley.
It's coming from Jared Dudley. Come on. That's it. It's coming from Jared Dudley. What did Ty Lue say before the game last night? He said, a book? Jared Dudley? Huh? Okay, so that's my response, too. It's coming from Jared Dudley. Come on. I know you have to say something controversial to help push the book a little bit.
Right.
And this is semi-controversial, but look, I don't want to kill the messenger here.
Right.
But I'm going to disqualify him. I'm going to dismiss him because it is Jared. And he has hung on for a long time in this league, many of the years as a good 3-and-D player, because he was the ACC Player of the Year coming out of Boston College.
Yes.
And he was the 22nd overall pick in the draft by, guess who? Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Another one of those. And he's bounced around this league to 7 different franchises, and this is his 14th year. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you realize Jared Dudley has now made $61.3 million playing this game? Okay, that'll work.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good living, man.
Nice little living.
Okay, so he might jeopardize it a little bit with this, but he's going to be the hero of the locker room because the Lakers are going to love this. We're glad you said that.
He'll end up coaching somewhere. I think the thing is...
He does want to be a coach or a GM.
Yeah.
He might be a GM.
Skip, I just think the thing is that Jared Dudley said what a lot of players around the league think.
Okay.
Is that Paul George views himself on that top tier. The guys that have won finals MVP. Skip, when Russ went to Houston, he viewed himself as an equal. He said, well, James, you haven't won anything. I haven't won anything. I got an MVP. You got an MVP. I see ourselves as equal. Paul George, like, he sees himself as an equal to Kawhi. Kawhi has 2 Defensive Player of the Year, 2 Finals MVP.
Yep.
KD has Finals MVP, regular season. Steph has regular season. LeBron has both. Giannis has MVPs. And guys are looking at them like, bro, you carrying yourself like them without the baggage, without what they have.
Okay. So what have I sometimes called Paul George in the postseason? George Paul.
Right.
Because he turns into George Paul because he's not an alpha male.
Right. He's
not the leader. He's not the takeover guy. He's not a superstar, but he is a star.
Yeah.
Because, listen, 6'8", 6-time All-Star, and 4-time All-Defense, that'll work, man.
Yeah, he's feathery smooth. He can shoot the 3. He can get the mid-range. He can get the. He still got ups. Even after that broken ankle, I think he broke his ankle, broke his leg. Skip. He's come back. He seems to me he looks better now than he did before he broke his leg.
Okay.
So we're not just diminishing the man's skills. I'm just saying, Skip, you know how you build your name in this. You want to be a legend. You got to play good in the playoffs.
Okay.
Magic Johnson and Bird and Jordan and LeBron and Kobe, Shaq, all those guys, they made their name. Kevin Durant made his name in the postseason. When he went to Golden State doing that, That's how you make your name.
That's how you do
Kawhi.
it.
So, Paul George, if you want to be thought of as those guys, like those guys,
I agree.
You're going to have to play in big moments in the playoff games like those guys.
He has led this league in steals.
Yes.
He has been in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. He has been in the conversation for MVP.
Yeah, he finished third.
Okay.
That's his last year in the OKC.
And he's on the fringe of the conversation this year because he's had some big games.
Yes.
He's playing even better than Kawhi is right now overall.
Yes.
By the way, quick aside on Kawhi, he played another back-to-back last night because he's on a mission to prove everyone wrong. So he's committed this year.
He had no choice. Because I can assure you this is what we know. Had they won the title last year, Kawhi Leonard would not be playing because it would have been justified.
I'll buy that.
It would have been justified that he can take these back-to-back.
He has a big something to prove right now.
And Ty Lue is saying, bruh, we kind of need you.
We got to do this differently.
And the thing is, Skip, Ty Lue has a, when Ty Lue has played with Shaq and Kobe, he's played with Mike, he's coached LeBron and Kyrie. He has a certain level of cachet and credibility not a whole lot of NBA coaches has.
Okay.
So when he speaks to those guys, they're like, okay.
Okay, so let's give Paul George one last break in the bubble last year because he was very open-hearted about, man, I lost it.
Yes.
I got depressed. I was just mentally lost. I needed help. I needed some counseling. And he just went public with it, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people looked down their nose at that.
Right.
A lot of people laughed at him. He did bounce back in a game, remember, against the Mavericks. He had a huge game when everybody thought he was about gone, right? Okay? But when it was time to rise and shine, as they were looking ahead to you guys, and they had the little old Nuggets standing in front of them, they did not rise and shine, either one of them. I will give you that.
Well, see, the thing with what got Paul is that if you look at it, Skip, and this is the way we look at it, it's the people that are calling him soft. You look at Devin Booker. See, Skip, let me tell you how sports are. When I was playing up and all through, there are certain people that can call you soft and it wouldn't even bother you. Devin Booker and Seth Curry calling me soft, that's gonna bother Paul George. He's like, huh? Y'all think I'm soft? Me? The way you...
Okay, good. Well, you've been called out.
Yes.
But in the bubble, he became the biggest target in sports.
Yes.
The easiest target.
Yes.
And Jared Dudley took a shot at the easiest target in sports.
Okay, Skip, you're right. He low-hanging fruit.
Right.
He was easy to plug.
The lowest hanging.
But Skip, at the end of the day, he's not regular season P.
Yep.
He playoff P.
So he didn't seem to get real upset when he was asked about Jared Dudley's comments. And he just basically said, God bless Jared Dudley. He can talk all the stuff he wants to talk, but just God bless him.
Right.
Another point taken. He's also on a mission, as is his team, to say, okay, watch this.
Yes.
So you've been called out. Let's see how you respond. And my final point is, I will give Jared this, because he did go on in his text of his book to say they also, as a team, got very upset by the billboards, and I don't blame them for that, because I don't think that was Paul George's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it went to...
You liked it.
Okay, I don't know if it went to Steve Ballmer.
No, but you liked it. When Kawhi Leonard, Jenny, played the tape, ooh, he took a shot, boom!
Okay, well, that's a commercial. That's not billboard.
Oh, he had a billboard, too. This Kawhi Town. You saw those billboards, Kawhi Town.
But the Clippers billboard, they put right there on the entrance, right going into El Segundo to their Lakers facility, right?
Yeah, I used to see it going to the Strand House. I wanted to tear it down.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Okay. And what was that? I never saw it. It was just a general Clippers billboard?
That's not a Clipper town. Ain't nothing Clippers.
Okay. Well, all right. So...
Put all the billboards you want down in San Diego. Against the Dallas Mavericks. So Paul George is, and that's the thing I love about sports, Skip, because you get to update that resume. Now, I'm tired of everybody beating up on Paul George, too. Let the man have a break. He didn't perform well. He hasn't performed well in the playoffs, especially in OKC. Skip, that what he did to Russ after being finishing third in the MVP, and then that game against Utah. And Russ asked him in the locker room, say, Paul, what you got for me? And he said, I got a strong spade hand. I got 5 on me. Gave him 5 points on 2 of it. That can't happen again. So I'm going to give him a break. And Skip, this a book. So the book was written a long time ago. It's just coming out now. Skip, you know how it is. So you get that delayed reaction. Yep. He probably said this, the bubble was in June? Mm-hmm. So he probably started writing it, probably finished it up in July, August.
Probably.
And here we are just getting it now.
Well,
so
it's a grand total of 42 pages, so I don't think it took too long.
So in other words, he about to finish that up. He was working on that in the bubble.
He was I think they were doing it diary style.
Right.
So he was, yes, they were sort of writing it on the fly.
So look, PG is off to a great start. The only way PG is going to stop all this commentary about his play is to bust butt come playoff time. Mm-hmm. And if he does that, he'll shut these people's mouths up.
Well, don't look now, but he's busting butt right here, right now. I know it's still early in the regular season, but he's doing it.
He's doing it. But Skip, Skip, you remember now at OKC, he finished third in the MVP voting. And then what he do? He go to Utah and give you 5, a strong spade hand. That's all he had for you.
I will remind you, I know it was a while back, and it was very, very early because it was opening night. Mm-hmm. But he's on a mission because that first game against your Lakers, he dropped 33 on you, and he hit